So this leads to my top 5 favorite things from day 2. We did this day 1. We're going to do it every day. And my top 5 favorite things from day 2 in Japan. First up, at number 5, is the pregame experience. I mentioned this a little bit after day 1, but I kind of got even more of an appreciation after day 2, because not only does it happen everywhere, they put on a performance pregame. The cheerleaders again come running out with their banners, and they're doing all these coordinated dances all around the field, getting the crowd pumped up. And then right before the home team takes the field in the first inning, all of the lights went out. So you're going to hear this becomes like an experience. This becomes a full like cinematic experience. The lights go down. The video board starts playing this really cool video graphic of the players, the team getting ready to take the field. There's this like cool design coming up and swirling around. The video board in the outfield takes up pretty much the entire outfield. Think about a gigantic board going from basically left center field to right center field. So the lights have gone down. This video is playing. I was like, this is so cool. The cheerleaders are doing a dance. When I go to Major League Baseball games, you kind of expect the biggest and best sound and cool videos playing and light shows with the lights, and you do get that. But I wasn't expecting that here in Japan, and it was so cool. I mean, there's a legitimate theatrical experience before the game, and it was really special, and it was cool to see that. Next up here at number 4, beer girls. Let me explain. There are beer girls everywhere. Think of, just to set the scene here, there are probably hundreds of beer girls all dressed in this bright yellow. They have full kegs on their backs, and it's just women. They are going all around the stadium, basically in a full sprint, unless they're actually filling a beer for somebody. They're everywhere, and the second somebody raises their hand, they like go by looking for a wave or a hand raise. The second they see it, they sprint up the steps. These steps are steep. These girls are impressive. I recorded a podcast at the top of the Tokyo Dome. I was out of breath getting there. These girls have full kegs on their backs, and they're like sprinting around the stadium getting beer for people when they need it. Naturally, we were some of those people, and one of my producers ordered a beer, and they come up. We got a few of them, and a girl comes up and starts giving us and filling up beers for us, and he tipped the girl, and apparently that is not something that is typically done out here, because the girl she got emotional, like very overwhelmed with the fact that she was getting a tip. So beer girls need to be in America. It is just brilliant. They are very swift in the way they work. They are very good at what they do, and it just makes too much sense to not have that. But they're everywhere. At number 3, again, the fan experience. There were 74. I counted after day 1 when I told you guys I was kind of overwhelmed with the Flippin Bats community and how many people were there. I decided to count yesterday. 74 different people came up for photos throughout the day. Some talking about the podcast. Sometimes I still need to step back. I'm on the other side of the world, and there are Flippin Bats fans everywhere. I took hundreds of photos yesterday with 74 different people. There were massive crowds at one point that were waiting. I got a little overwhelmed at one point, but overwhelmed because it was so incredible. And the Flippin Bats community is truly incredible. The amount of people that said, I watch your YouTube. Thank you for what you do and the way you talk about Shohei and baseball. Man, that was really cool. So tons of fans. Even post-game, there was a meetup of fans in front of the Tokyo Dome that I didn't even know about. I saw a picture. There were 20 plus people in front of the Tokyo Dome after the game waiting to to say hello and to meet me, and I feel bad because I didn't know about this meetup, so I didn't go to it. But we do have some cool things planned in the future. So if I missed you out in front of the Tokyo Dome, or anybody listening, we will be doing something very cool here in the coming days. But the Flippin Bats community and the experience meeting fans so far has been very, very overwhelming, and I touched on it a lot with the day one recap, but that's the Shohei impact, and you feel it immediately. I talk about Shohei on the other side of the world, and I traveled 12, 13 hours across the globe, and the appreciation is it's felt immediately, and that's really cool. So that's number 3 on my list. Number 2 from day 2 is dinner. Dinner was incredible. We went to the number 1 restaurant in all of Ginza. It was yakiniku, which is just basically, like, think Korean barbecue. There's so many different kinds of meat, and there's a grill on your table. So we're immediately greeted with this plate of like 10 different meats, but there's like 100 different things on here. It was incredible. And my biggest takeaway that I had from dinner last night is I'm a really good chef. And who knew that was coming? The producers that I was sitting with at the table, I think I changed their life. I think so here became the technique for me. Things started, I was overcooking things at first. So think of, again, just to set the scene here, there's a gigantic plate, and there's like these tongs, and the grill is right next to you. So I just became the one that took the tongs and started putting the meat on the grill. And I think I was a little scared at first because I would just kept overcooking things. But as I got into a rhythm here, not only did I get really good at it, I was changing the lives of the people at my table that were eating this meat. That's how good it was. But truly, we, first off, thank you to Adam Jones, friend of the Flippin Bats podcast, and a Baltimore Orioles great, came out to Japan, played a couple of years out here in Japan. So he actually hit me up and suggested this restaurant. So Adam, first off, thank you for that. It was incredible, and all the different kinds of meat and the experience and being there with the entire team that I'm out here with. That was really cool. So dinner and the walk back from dinner is definitely number 2. It was about 25 minutes, about a 10-minute car ride and about a 25-minute walk after dinner. We just decided to walk it, and we were walking the streets of Tokyo. There was a little bit of a mist coming down. It was night. It was really cool. So that's number 2 on my list. And number 1 from my day 2 experience is watching a baseball game at the Tokyo Dome. I mentioned it. It is Yankees, Tigers in America, but here it is Giants, or Yankees, Red Sox in America, Giants, Tigers here. But the game was really cool, and the starting pitcher for the Tigers was a guy named Shintaro Fujinami, and he was basically Shohei Ohtani's rival pitcher coming up when they were younger. They were both like, hey, they went to rival high schools. They were both really good. They were both great. This guy that pitched for the Tigers yesterday was Shohei's rival, and you can see why. He throws much harder than most people I've seen out here. He was probably throwing 95, 96, 97. Most of the fastball velocity I've seen is between 90 to 92. This guy steps on the mound, and you can immediately see that he's throwing harder. He's got great off speed. He actually threw really well yesterday, which is the reason that the Hanshin Tigers won, was because this guy's an absolute stud. But look, the number 1 experience is just, I got to watch a baseball game at the Tokyo Dome. How cool is that? I had great seats and a great atmosphere, and it's one of the most iconic venues in the entire world. And I got to watch a baseball game there. The sport, the thing that means more to me than anything, baseball. I love it. And I got to watch a baseball game at the Tokyo Dome. How cool is that?
Thanks for watching. If you love Flippin Bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.